Hey everyone, let's talk about something that might seem simple but is actually super important if you're using GLP-1 medications. How long can you keep them in the fridge? The quick answer: unopened GLP-1 medications stored properly in the refrigerator at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit stay effective until the expiration date printed on the package. But there's more to know about keeping these medications safe and effective, so let's dive in. First, what are we talking about when we say GLP-1 medications? These are injectable medications like semaglutide, which you might know as Ozempic or Wegovy, dulaglutide and Trulicity, liraglutide in Victoza and Saxenda, and tirzepatide in Mounjaro and Zepbound. They're used for managing type 2 diabetes or chronic weight management. Here's the thing that makes these medications different from a lot of pills you might take. They're peptide-based, meaning they're made of protein-like molecules that are really sensitive to temperature. Think of them like fresh food that needs to stay cold. If they get too warm or too cold, they can break down and stop working properly. So let's talk storage. Your unopened medication needs to live in the refrigerator at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. When you keep it at this temperature, it'll stay effective until that expiration date the manufacturer printed on the box. Now here's a helpful tip. Store your medication in the main part of your refrigerator, not in the door. Why? Because every time you open that door, the temperature fluctuates. Also, keep it in the original carton to protect it from light and make sure it's away from the freezer compartment so it doesn't accidentally freeze. Speaking of which, and this is really important, never freeze your GLP-1 medication. Freezing damages the peptide structure permanently. If your medication has been frozen, even by accident, you need to throw it away and get a new one. There's no saving it. But what if you need to keep your medication out of the fridge for a bit? Good news. Most GLP-1 medications can handle room temperature for limited periods before you start using them. For example, Wegovy can stay at room temperature for up to 28 days, Trulicity can handle 14 days, and Mounjaro and Zepbound can be stored at room temperature for 21 days. Just remember, this is before first use, and you should always check your specific medication's FDA-approved prescribing information. Once you've used your medication for the first time, the rules change a little. Multi-dose pens have specific in-use storage periods. Ozempic, for instance, can be used for 56 days after you first use it. Victoza and Saxenda are good for 30 days after you start. Single-dose devices are different. You use them once and toss them right after injection. Always follow the FDA-approved prescribing information for your specific product because these allowances and in-use periods can vary. Before each injection, take a moment to inspect your medication. The solution should be clear and colorless to slightly yellow, depending on your product's label. You're looking for any signs something's wrong. Don't use it if you notice cloudiness, any particles floating around, discoloration, or any evidence it's been frozen like ice crystals or unusual texture. And never store your pen with a needle attached. Remove the needle after each use. So what should you talk to your healthcare provider about? Make sure you understand the specific storage requirements for your particular medication. Ask what to do if you're traveling without access to a refrigerator. Find out how to transport your medication safely, especially on hot days. And if you ever experience a power outage or your refrigerator breaks down, contact your pharmacist or the medication manufacturer for guidance on what to do. If you accidentally use medication that wasn't stored properly, or if you're not sure whether your medication is still safe to use, reach out to your healthcare provider. When in doubt, don't inject it. They can help you figure out if you need a replacement. Here are your key takeaways. Unopened GLP-1 medications stored in the refrigerator at 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit remain effective until the expiration date. After first use, multi-dose pens have specific storage periods that vary by medication. Never use medication that's been frozen or shows signs of cloudiness, discoloration, or particles. And always keep your medication in its original carton, stored in the main part of your refrigerator. Remember, this information is educational and shouldn't replace personalized medical advice from your healthcare provider. Always consult them about your specific medication and any storage questions you have. Have you had any challenges storing your GLP-1 medication? Drop a comment below. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based health information.